I'm ticking all 3 boxes today. On my channel description, it says I'm going to do ham radio things as much as possible outdoors and at interesting places. Well, check, check, check. I'm obviously outdoors. I've got a brand new ham radio I'm going to be showing you today, and I'm at one of the most fascinating places in the entire state of Georgia. It's the Georgia Guidestones. I'm going to do 3 main things in this video and throw in a bonus 4th. Number 1, I'm going to take you on a little tour of the Guidestones, show you what's here, talk about it a little bit. Number 2, I'm going to take you on a tour, show you the features, some of the key features, some of the things I really like about this Radioddity GS5B. Thank you, Radioddity, for sending it. Then I'm going to get it on the air and try to make a contact, maybe somebody local who knows something more about the stones. And if you want to stick around at the end, I'll give you my opinion of what I think, how these stones got here, and what I think the real story is. Stick around, this should be interesting. Let's get going. I'm here at the Georgia Guidestones. I'm in the very northeast part of the state, and this is a fascinating place. The story goes that in 1979, a guy shows up at a little town near here, which self-proclaims itself to be the granite capital of the world. And he had plans and an idea to build a granite monument. He was impressed by Stonehenge in England, and he wanted to replicate that, but put ideas on it as well, here in northeast Georgia. The Guidestones were built in 1979 and 1980. They were opened to the public in 1980. They were commissioned by a man calling himself R.C. Christian. Very little is known about R.C. Christian. We know he paid for the Guidestones. We know he wrote a book expanding on these ideas, and he only revealed his true identity to one person who's kept that secret his entire life. Now, when a mystery like this just shows up in Georgia and no one takes credit for it, well, a lot of people will develop theories as to who was R.C. Christian. There is a plaque in the ground giving details about the stones, including which languages are on which walls, and some information about who the author is, the astronomical features of the stones, the different sponsors, a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. And there's supposed to be a time capsule placed 6 feet below this spot. But when it comes to when it's supposed to be opened, there's no date. So the points of the guides of the Guidestone, the Guide for Humanity Living in Concert with the Environment, are written in 8 different languages, 2 on each stone. Here we've got Russian, Chinese, Arabic, Hebrew, Hindi, Swahili, Spanish, and last of all, English. I'm not going to read all the different points of the guides to you, but if you want to pause, you can certainly pause the video, read them for yourself. One of the celestial features of the Guidestones is that slit on the capstone, and you can see the little dot of light. Well, that's used to indicate noontime. Now, to be fair, it's a couple minutes before 1 o'clock, but it is daylight savings time. So that feature works pretty good. That's enough about where I am. Let's talk about the Radioddity GS5B. Thanks again to Radioddity for sending me this cool little radio. First of all, I have to say it's a dual band radio, meaning it can transmit on the 2-meter band and 70-centimeter band. And in the US, you do need a license to transmit with this radio. It feels really good in my hand. It feels like great build quality. It feels rugged and like outdoorsy. Is that even a word? Well, it is today. And I think you know what I mean by outdoorsy. It's got a lot of rubberized parts on it, and the case feels like tough plastic. Some of the interesting features about this radio that I really like, first of all, dual push-to-talk buttons. It's got 2 VFOs, and you can key either one up with one of the 2 push-to-talk buttons. That's a neat feature. The whole bottom of the radio is basically a flashlight. You can turn it on. You can make it flash, blue, white, and red. Turn it off. It's better than the flashlights on my Baofeng and other handhelds that have like a single little LED on the top. This is certainly a better flashlight than that. Next cool feature I want to talk about is the color screen. It's got a nice color screen and it shows an S meter, which is also a cool feature. It is a little dim for my liking in the bright outdoors. Maybe I'm missing a setting, but I'd like it to be a little bit brighter, or at least have control over the brightness. One of the features I like best about this Radioddity radio is the fact that you can charge it via USB. Yeah, however you charge your phone or tablet, you can use that same USB cable to charge this radio. How cool is that? That means that when I have my little fold-out solar panel that has a USB port built right into it, I can charge this radio. It comes with a charging cradle that's really nicely made, so you don't always have to charge via USB, but let's face it, USB ports are everywhere, and that means you can charge this radio in more ways than most. I wish the bigger manufacturers would take note and allow their radios to be programmed via USB. And finally, I saved the best for last because this Radioddity radio has Bluetooth. And while my high-end, much more expensive Kenwood TH-D74 has Bluetooth, and it allows you to connect to a PC to program it, this radio has apps for iOS and Android. That means you can connect your phone or tablet to this radio via Bluetooth and program it. And that's great for people like me that travel to different parts of the state and country. I either have to program the radio in advance or use the keypad, which is always a pain, to try to program in local repeaters for wherever I am. Well, in this case, I can use Bluetooth, connect to my iPhone, fire up the app, and program in the local repeaters. It's a great feature, and it makes it really nice. I'll show you a couple screenshots here of the app. First of all, this is the home screen, and you can see it allows you to connect via Bluetooth. You just enable Bluetooth, you turn it on via the menu on the radio, and your phone will find it, and you just hit connect, and it'll connect to your radio. Then you're able to program in the different frequencies, all the different channels, all the different memories. You can program them in, edit them, change them, whatever you want. You can even name them. Then it's very easy to write that program back to the phone. And you can have multiple programs. So if you go from place to place often, you can have a program for home, you can have a program for, wherever you go further away with different memories for each place. And you can change them with just your phone. Great feature. I've been listening to the local, the closest repeater, 145.21, and I haven't heard any activity. So I hope I can get somebody on the air. Let's see. K4 BBL at the Georgia Guidestones. Is anyone around? K4 BBL at the Guidestones.
Welcome to the KI4CCZ repeater. TL118.8.
That's an interesting confirmation tone. K4 BBL, it's Brian. I'm at the Guidestones visiting for the day. Is anyone around? Try one more call. See if I can coax somebody into calling back. This is K4 BBL visiting from out of town at the Georgia Guidestones. Is anyone around? It's hot today. Didn't expect it to be this hot. Oh well, I'm gonna try simplex and then maybe a different repeater. I'm on 146.520. That's the national 2-meter simplex calling frequency. See if I can get anyone. K4 BBL. Kilo 4 Bravo Bravo Lima. Is anyone around? K4 BBL. K4 BBL. Kilo 4 Bravo Bravo Lima at the Georgia Guidestones. Is can anyone copy? This isn't the first time I've used the radio. It's the second. I had to confirm that it worked when I first got it. K4 BBL. Kilo 4 Bravo Bravo Lima at the Georgia Guidestones. Is anyone around? Wow, no luck. There's got to be hams up here. I'm going to I'm going to program in a different repeater, see if I can get into it, see if anyone's monitoring that one. It only took me about 2 or 3 minutes to program in 2 brand new repeaters. They both had PL tones and offsets, so super easy to do. All right, let's try this. Let's see if I can get the repeater in Livonia. This is K4BBL. K4BBL visiting from out of town. I'm at the Georgia Guidestones. Is anyone around? Uh-oh. There was no confirmation beep. Means one of 2 things. I either programmed it wrong, unlikely, or I can't hit it using high power, the 5 watts of this radio. K4BBL. Can anyone copy? Is anyone there? I'm visiting the Guidestones from out of town. Nope, that's bad news. All right, let's try the other repeater that I programmed in. This one is a couple miles further away, but maybe I've got good line of sight. Maybe it's on a better spot. Let's try it. K4BBL, visiting from out of town. I'm at the Georgia Guidestones. Is anyone around today? K4BBL, is anyone around? Can anyone copy? Yeah, no Roger beep, no ID from the repeater, so I doubt I'm getting into that repeater. That's really a shame. No contacts today, but at least I tried and I got to show you around the Radioddity. Nice radio. I almost accomplished the 3 things I wanted to. I was able to take you on a little tour and explain the Georgia Guidestones a little bit. There's certainly a lot more information about them that you can easily find in lots of different places. Then I told you about my new Radioddity GS5B and its cool features. I like this radio. And then I tried to get it on the air. I successfully made contact with a local repeater, but no one was listening. I tried simplex, that didn't work, and I was unable to hit 2 further away repeaters that were probably out of the range of this capable handheld, but they were pretty far away. So I didn't make a contact today. I'm going to take this radio out again, and we'll definitely make contacts with it in the future. That's the 3 things. If you want to stick around for the bonus, my opinion on the Guidestones and why they're here, great. If not, thanks for watching. So the Georgia Guidestones. There's a lot of theories out there involving groups of people, sometimes, sinister ideas about the Guidestones. People can read it in a couple different ways. You can read it in a positive light. Hey, this is, some of these are good ideas for how people should live. Or you can read it in a more sinister way of people wanting to control the population. Either way you read it. In my mind, it seems a lot like an old man idea. And by old man idea, I mean, have you ever met an old man that didn't have ideas of how the world should work? They usually start those sentences with, if I were president, I think the world would be better if, and I think Congress should do whatever. There's an old man idea coming right behind those. And I know a lot of old men, and they all have these ideas about how to make the world better, and they're usually more than happy to tell you about them. And I think that's what the Guidestones are. I think a rich guy, probably R.C. Christian, maybe R.C. Christian was just the go-between for the real guy, but I think he wanted his old man ideas to last longer than he did. So he literally set them in stone. And by not revealing his identity, by not putting his name on it and attributing it to a group of people or himself and sponsors, that was genius. Because think about it. The ideas themselves stand on their own. They're not clouded by how the guy lived his life or who he was. You're not judging them based on the guy who had these ideas or who came up with them, because that's a mystery. We don't know. So in the end, totally smart thing to do, not putting his name on it, actively hiding his identity. By doing that, it creates a mystery around it. More people are exposed to those ideas. But in the end, I think it's just one guy's ideas of how to make the world better, or how to rebuild the world better if there's some kind of big event that wipes out a lot of humanity. That's my take on the Guidestones. I hoped you liked it. I know this was a little on the vlog side, but I did try to make a contact. I did talk about ham radio, and I did promise I was going to be at interesting places from time to time. So you got what you signed up for. This is K4BBL 73. I'm clear.